Hey guys, I'm Brian Bottkiller, and today we're looking professional, I guess, so we can talk about BandCamp. So I talk a lot about the streaming services that I dislike, and I'm gonna try and start focusing on some of the good stuff. I know I've talked a lot about the bad stuff as of late. Sorry, Tidal. Sorry, Spotify. Sorry, Apple Music. Wait, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry because there's a tool that allows you to really be able to take a lot more control of how your music is sold on the internet. That tool is BandCamp. Now, if you're not on BandCamp and you make music, what are you doing? You should be on BandCamp. BandCamp is independent, mostly independent. I'm sure they have some investment at this point because they've managed to get relatively big. But BandCamp is a independent way of selling your music, and it's independent because record labels aren't getting in on it. Some probably are, but as far as I know, the majors are not. The majors being Sony and BMG and blah blah. Why is this important? Well, the big reason that this is important is because, again, there are very little ways for you as a musician to be able to take control of the money that you make off your music when it's sold digitally at this point. In fact, there's nearly none. If you're selling your music on, Amazon, iTunes, et cetera, you pretty much have to adhere to a certain type of pricing in order to be able to sell your music at all. Honestly, it just it gets a little bit tedious. Let's face it. And BandCamp kind of upends that whole model, which is something I really like about it. What BandCamp lets you do is upload your music, and you have to upload it in a high quality format. You have to upload it in WAV format to start off with. And this is good because it means that your customers are going to get the highest quality digital product. So that's one really good thing about BandCamp. You can very easily join. It's free. You have to upload your audio in high quality, as I say. You can create albums. You can create singles. You can do pretty much just about anything that you really want to do when it comes to setting up your music on BandCamp. There's not a whole lot of rules. You'll get a unique URL for your music, for your band, whatever it is. And by URL, I mean BandCamp. Actually, on BandCamp, it's yourbandname.bandcamp.com. Mine is brianbottkiller.bandcamp.com. And then you can start selling music. Now, here's the pretty cool thing. It's free to sell through BandCamp. And you are not going to be paying fees unless you join BandCamp Pro, which I have done because it does offer some very useful tools, and it's not very expensive. It's $5 for a month for your first year, $10 a month for years after that. So it's not too bad in the long run. And what you're going to do after this is you're going to start selling your music through BandCamp, and you're going to be able to do it for free. Now, how does BandCamp get paid? They do have to make some money, obviously. They can't just give this service away for free. BandCamp has a revenue share program. Now, the revenue share seems a little weird at first, but it's really not a very big deal. What it comes down to is that BandCamp is going to get 15% of digital sales and 10% of merch sales. And that's something that I didn't mention yet, which is that you can sell merch through your BandCamp store as well. So if you have CDs, if you have any kind of special stuff that goes with your music, you can sell it through BandCamp. So you have a revenue share balance, basically, with BandCamp. And every once in a while, essentially, some of your sales are going to be put towards your revenue share balance. So you're going to make money. And you're going to make money into your PayPal account. And it's pretty quick and easy. And BandCamp doesn't take a huge, ginormous chunk of your income. And if you are running everything with your music as a business, then you should be able to count the money that you don't get from sales that goes to BandCamp as an expense because it is a service expense. So that is a good thing. And the reason that's good is that, as I've talked about before with other services, let's say you sell a song on iTunes. Well, that's great. You sold the song on iTunes. You don't get the full 99 cents from that iTunes sale. you get something after it's all been broken out and everybody else has been paid. You get a little piece of money, usually about 75 cents, a little bit less. Thing is, you can't really claim that in tax world as an expense. You're essentially just getting some income after you've lost something off the top. So it's kind of a drag. BandCamp gives you the ability to keep track of that, watch your revenue share, know what it is that you've paid, and be able to, again, keep track of it and expense it. And that's an important thing, guys, being able to do that. So that's something that is pretty cool about BandCamp. It's not very expensive. It's easy to get onto, easy to use, and it's a little easier to be found on BandCamp. BandCamp does feature a lot of independent artists very frequently, which is something I think is very cool. And again, it's not just inundated by a bunch of Pharrell junk, or the Foo Fighters or whatever. Again, nothing against those guys, but they've got everything set up that they need. You're an independent musician. You need something up your sleeve. The best trick you're going to have up your sleeve at this point, guys, is going to be BandCamp. And that's just a fact. The only other thing you can do to be able to keep money in your pocket is to sell your music directly from your own website, which if you have a store set up to do that, that is great. And I say do that. But many bands and artists just don't really know how to do that, and they don't have the time. They're trying to make music. So BandCamp lets you get around all that and have a store and do it pretty easily and have widgets that you can embed and all kinds of things, which is really cool. So I highly suggest BandCamp because, again, it's super easy to use. And another great thing about it is that you can do pre-sales. So you can release a pre-sale. People can pre-buy that album. They can get a few digital downloads, but not the whole thing, and then you can wait to release it at a certain time. BandCamp will report your sales to SoundScan. So if it's important for you to be able to potentially get listed on the Billboard charts, BandCamp can help you to do that, which is pretty cool. Additionally, you can select options such as allowing people to pay what they feel for your music. So you have the ability to basically say, well, it's free. If you give me your email address, it's free in general, but please consider giving me some money to say thanks for my music. And that's something you can't do with iTunes, you can't do with Amazon or anything else. So this is all really important stuff because it really does upend the whole thing of the way that the music industry is built. And BandCamp has been around for a little while, and I've been active on it for a while. It's still changing, and it's still finding its way, I think, in some ways. But BandCamp definitely allows people to take greater control of how their music is being sold. So, again, super easy to do. I highly suggest that you guys get your music in high-quality WAV format. If you recorded it yourself, you know what this means. If you didn't, go back to your mastering engineer, your recordist, whomever, and ask them for a high-quality WAV copy of your songs, which you should have no matter what. You should always have that, because that's what you need to make a CD. But get those, upload them to BandCamp, make an album, and start being active, and start taking control of the money you make off your music, and have a little bit of, hopefully, peace of mind that you are supporting a business that is a lot more independent than Apple and Spotify and all these other companies, and you're also supporting yourself, which I think is pretty cool. So that's it, guys. Again, I dig BandCamp. It's the only way I've released my latest album, and it will probably be the only way I'll release a lot of music as time goes on. And there's one other thing I should mention, actually, and that's this. I talk a lot about music subscription services. BandCamp allows you to build a subscription service, which your fans can take advantage of to subscribe to you, to basically support you monthly, and then you just need to basically turn around cool stuff for them, songs and things like that. So that subscription model is really cool. Subscribers can get special things. They can get songs that other people don't get, things along those lines. And that's, again, unique to BandCamp. Now, I've done some things like this in the past with bands of mine. I would create a subscription service, and it worked. It wasn't huge, but it worked. With the BandCamp subscription, I think you have a good chance of being able to get people more and more interested because then they can pay what they feel is a little bit less, and maybe is in the long run, for your music, but they're also still supporting you, and they're not just funneling money into Spotify or Apple or whatever. So that's it, guys. Get your music on Bandcamp. Do it now. And continue taking control of your career, because that's the thing that you have to do. So there you have it, guys. That's being a successful musician about Bandcamp. I hope you found it useful. If you have questions, comments, etc., hit me in the comments section here. As always, find me at brianbachkiller.com and on Twitter, Facebook, and blah, blah, blah. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Keep believing in yourself, and take care.